4th of Seath, 233, Second Era of the Age of Song, Empire of Owaine. You would think being a princess would be easy. Perhaps in the East it is. You attend festivals, you learn your manners, you may choose to learn warfare, you will learn governance and politics. You may even get a day to wander a garden or sip a nice tea. Not me. As Princess of Owaine, soon to be Mage Emperor, I must attend festivals, I must learn my manners, I must learn warfare, I must learn politics, and I must become an expert spellcaster. I wake before the sun, and I sleep once midnight rings. Every moment of my day needs to be spent learning, otherwise this kingdom may fall. The other Waywind Mountain kingdoms are in the range, or at least not offensive enough to Eastern sensibilities to be left alone. Owain sits on the outside of the peaks and the foothills, shoulder to shoulder with the Eastern kingdoms. I don't think I've lived in a time where we weren't under crusade by at least one of them. So I learn how to willcast, how to world speak. I learn to bend fire, lightning, and air. I learn how to shape moonlight. I learn the personal spells of ancient masters, many of whom were my own ancestors. And I learn to let my instincts and emotions guide the elements for me. I spend hours talking to animals. I spend hours reading heavy tomes. And I'm still expected to put on my finest dress, do my hair, and attend a festival in town for the next 4 nights. Don't they know I can't surrender that time? Their lives are at stake. If I even take a single moment to breathe, the Mage Emperor has duties, and I am not ready. Fifth of Seath, 233, Second Era of the Age of Song, Empire of Owaine. The first night of the Festival of the Arcane God was uneventful. I came to be amongst my people, watched the festivities, listened to the music. Mother took my book away from me when we arrived, so I couldn't divert my attention to anything more practical and important. "You are ready, Oriana," she says. My mother is the most powerful sorceress I've ever seen. She is an unparalleled lore master who has shaped moonlight into walls the height of mountains. My mother is known as the arcanist who brought down the demonic invasion near single-handedly. I am not ready to be her. She kept nudging me and pointing at this one person, a young woman, maybe 3 years my senior, with messy black hair and tan skin. Elven, I think. My guess is she's a coastal elf, but I couldn't really tell. I couldn't tell why my mother was so insistent on me looking at this person, so I just nodded along. One of the acolytes, who tends to the castle, told me she's an oracle of some sort. I suppose Mother is trying to prompt me to select someone to be my counsel for when I become Empress. I suppose Mother had an easy job of picking her chief counsel. My father is one of the most well-traveled knights in the world. No magical abilities to speak of, but maybe my mother thinks I need someone with future sight because I will be a poor leader without it. I wish she would just speak her mind. Sixth of Seath, 233, Second Era of the Age of Song, Empire of Owaine. I spent the evening at the festival with her. She is in fact not a coastal elf. She is from a continent to the south, and her clan is called the Chien. That means mountain in one of the languages from her land. Our mountain elves look very different from her. She is also, in fact, an oracle. She had this look in her eye when I talked as though she knows something I don't, which I suppose makes sense. I possess no oracular abilities, but it is a little annoying. We ate and watched some demonstrations of illusion moonlight. My mother just kept looking at us and smiling. I guess I'm falling for her trap and will be a better empress because of it. The elf's name is Ino, by the way. We talked about my studies, and for once it felt as though someone heard the frustrations I'm having, feeling as though I'm falling behind, wanting desperately not to mess up. She told me I won't mess up, which I suppose I should find comfort in. She explained that she can't see the future as such. Her body gives her visions, shapes, symbols, colors, and scenes, but they are vague, and her job is to interpret them. An oracle thinks I will be a good empress. That makes me feel good. Eighth of Seath, 233, Second Era of the Age of Song, Empire of Owaine. Now that the festival is over, I am once again dedicated to my studies, though my mother has invited Ino to accompany me all day. While I was reading, she was sitting a few hands away, watching the rain clouds. While I was practicing casting, she was smelling a rose bush behind me. While I was being taught swordsmanship, the various noble lineages of the world, the history of my own kingdom, she was right there, humming some song from her homeland. When I was finally allowed to go eat, she came with. We talked about her homeland a bit. Apparently it's a smaller continent, but they have a clan of bird-like Nobiks. They have a warrior caste of battle mages who wear demon-like masks and carry curved swords and very tall bows. Their dragons fly without wings. Where she is from specifically, there is an entire magical art focused on ink and pottery. She even told me of something strange, a giant stone wall across her continent built by her people without using magic. She has a nice laugh. I've only heard it once. Apparently I make a silly face when I read, and it caused her to smile. I asked her why she's in Owain. My kingdom sounds so different from hers. She told me she had a vision about a tall tower with a griffin sleeping atop it in a lightning storm. She saw the Empress's robes. Then, as clear as day, she saw my face. Apparently she's never seen a face in her visions before. Tenth of Seath, 233, Second Era of the Age of Song, Empire of Owaine. She is still right there, a few hands away, all day, every day, watching. I've grown accustomed to her, answering her questions, asking her my own, chatting while I eat, hearing her giggle when I read. I think I'm making the face more often these days on purpose. Hearing her laugh brings me a bit of peace. I even noticed I haven't been doing my regal accent as much. I asked my mother why she brought Ino into the castle, and my mother just shrugged and looked up at the storm clouds that were darkening above us. She claims there's no shame in having a friend. I asked if that was all, and my mother simply left the room. I truly wish I understood her. Maybe I will when I'm Empress of Owaine. Mage Emperor, the most powerful sorcerer I can be. Unfortunately, I'm more distracted than I've ever been. That laugh just rings in my mind. 15th of Seath, 233, Second Era of the Age of Song, Empire of Owaine. I kissed her today. I don't know why. I don't think I even really thought about it. We were out in the gardens, I was practicing my will casting. She put a flower crown on my head, and I just kissed her. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about it as she started to hover, eyes burning with a strange purple light. She stayed there for 3 hours, floating a few hands off the ground. When she fell back down, she was crying, frantic, looking around, eyes scanning the horizon for some threat. She had a vision. Deep within the mountains, far from all sight, an ancient tomb opens its doors for the first time in centuries. Out of the entrance poured a deluge of shadow and all manner of evil. It rose into the sky before beginning to melt and thaw. As it fell towards Lorelei, it sharpened into 100 blades that landed all over the continent, painting a mural of a crown. And all fell in its shadow. I tried to make a joke about it being that bad of a kiss, and she just stared at the ground, taking my hands in hers as she tried to relax. I suppose I really am not ready yet, if that is what is coming. But at least she's here with me to face it. Lorelei Vistas is a companion story to Legends of Lorelei, produced by Livewire Stories. This show is written and produced by Gwen Fullman. The music you heard in this episode was composed by Gwen Fullman and produced by Calamity Alex on YouTube and Spotify. The narrator for this episode was played by Gwen Fullman. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at Livewire Multimedia Stories to receive episodes a week early for only $2 a month. Check out our website at livewiretabletop.wixsite.com/livewire. Subscribe to us on YouTube, or join our Discord in the description below. The best way you can support us is by showing this to a friend. Thank you. And a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible.